Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel, The Novel Nana. I'm Bex. So in today's video, we are going to be discussing, or I will be providing you with an example of word choice and what things you might want to consider while writing. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in, then go ahead and stick around. Before we get into the video, I'd like to take care of some of that channel maintenance, so please be sure to like and subscribe if you're not already. Also, just a little thing here for my newbies or people who are just watching for the first time. I am the Novel Nana channel. My name is Bex, and mostly on this channel, I talk about writerly related things and a lot of creativity, other types of things. So anyway, if that does interest you, just subscribe to the channel and become one of my family. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the video. So today, as an example here, I'm going to show you an example of what things to consider cutting or tightening, and including word choice, but things that you might not have considered while forming your sentences, paragraphs, or, bits and pieces or the overall story. So I'm going to get right into it, and we're just going to kind of plow through it. Don't worry if you can't read it. I will be walking you through it. Now, disclaimer here, this is only my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt, and if it helps you or if you find value in it, then great. Okay, so the things that you need to consider when writing is after you have done your initial draft, go back through and trim the fat. Use strong verbs. Eliminate redundancies. Get rid of filter words. Keep it concrete, specific. After you have done those things, ask yourself, is it important in understanding the scene? Is it contributing or is it contaminating? Is it helping or harming your scene? Is it interesting? These things are what you need to know to be discriminate with your details. So, as an example, guys, as promised, we're going to get right into the example, and then I'll let you go to enjoy the rest of your day. So my example here that I came up with, now, it may not be a great example, but I am trying to implement these things in a way that translates to my viewer what exactly it is that I'm talking about and how you can make your writing stronger. Okay, so my little example sentence here is, I felt the cold wind on my face as I walked in the white snow from my Victorian-style house all the way to Aunt Millie's apartment 5 blocks down. Okay, guys, there's a lot wrong with this sentence. Now, as a beginner, excuse me, I'm sitting on my grandchild's Lego box here, so excuse the noise, guys. Okay, I have underlined a few things here, and it collates back to these things that I first told you about. But for the sake of this video, we're going to keep it short and sweet, and I'm just going to walk you through it one more time with the corrections. So, felt is a filter word, okay? So we do want to get rid of that. Now, on to trimming the fat, I have underlined Victorian style, apartment, and 5 blocks. These are, to me, trimming the fat. So getting to the heart of what you're trying to say to your reader. If this was the sentence, and guys, this sentence is horrid on so many levels, but someone who is just starting out may read this sentence and think there's nothing wrong with it. It's a little long maybe, but nothing wrong with it. So, okay. So first of all, we trim the fat. So by getting rid of Victorian style, apartment, and 5 blocks, we have shortened the sentence. Now we're going on to using a strong verb. So I've underlined walked, okay, because walked is not as strong as it could be. Eliminating redundancies. I have the cold wind is a descriptor of the wind, so we do want to keep that one. But white snow, I mean, what other color is snow? I mean, hopefully not yellow, but you know what I'm saying. This would be considered redundant, white snow. Okay, so keeping in line with going down our list here, getting rid of any filter words, which would be felt, because you are removing that psychic distance, or creating more psychic distance by removing your reader from your character's POV. Okay, so then the next thing on the list is keeping it concrete, keeping it specific. So on this case, we have face, and this is why I've underlined the word face. Because yes, face is a concrete image. Everyone can picture a face, although we might picture faces differently. But what I mean to make it more specific, I have changed the overall structure down here. So instead of I felt the cold wind on my face as I walked in the white snow from my Victorian style house all the way to Aunt Millie's apartment 5 blocks down, we have now taken out these things, which was trimming the fat, using stronger verbs, eliminating any redundancies, getting rid of filter words, and keeping it concrete and specific. So now our sentence reads, icy wind bit my cheeks as I trudged through the snow on my way to Aunt Millie's. Maybe still not the best sentence, but for example purposes only, you can see how this has really condensed. It has really tightened the imagery, and makes it a bit more concrete for your reader. So the cold wind, cold is such a, not so great. I mean, we all know what cold wind is, but it is not as strong as a descriptor as it could be. So instead of cold, I have replaced it with icy. Instead of the I felt, I have just went right into the action of the cold wind on her face. So icy wind bit my cheeks. Now I changed face to cheeks to give it a more concrete image. And then as far as I walked, I have switched that to as I trudged. This is such a weak word, walked. So if you give us a bit more of a concrete image, trudging, that helps the reader be more immersed. So as I trudged through the snow, because we don't need to know that it's white, okay? Unless for some reason in your story the snow is a different color. Maybe it's a different realm. I don't know. But for the sake of this video and this example, it's redundant. So I have eliminated the word white and just kept the word snow. Okay, I've also eliminated Victorian style, and apartment and the 5 blocks, unless for some reason we as the reader need to know the distance between our character's house and the location of their aunt's apartment. If it's important, then you can keep it. But if it's not going to change the scene in any way, or if it's not going to affect the overall story, leave it out. You can always mention it maybe when your character goes and visits the apartment, or maybe when their aunt comes and visits them at their house. So, okay, moving on. If for some reason it is important to note that your character lives in a house and her Aunt Millie lives in an apartment, then you can still keep it, but just simplify it. So we can add, icy wind bit my cheeks as I trudged through the snow from my house on my way to Aunt Millie's apartment. Short and sweet. Okay, so when you use certain details, you just got to remember, is it important in understanding the scene? If the distance, the 5 blocks, is not important enough for your reader to pay attention in that scene, if it's not necessary, absolutely pertinent information, leave it out. If it is not absolutely vital to understand the scene, or to understand that she lives in a Victorian style house while her aunt lives in an apartment, you can leave it out. Is it contributing or contaminating? This is all things that you need to consider about the details of what you've provided your reader. So if it's not contributing or elevating the scene or pushing the plot forward or showing us some character development, if it's not doing any of those things, then really it's contaminating your scene. It's bogging it down. It's making it feel heavy and clunky and overdone. So next, and that was the harming or helping your scene. And the next one was, is it interesting? If it is not interesting to know for your reader if your character lives in a Victorian style house and that your Aunt Millie lives, or her Aunt Millie lives in an apartment, if it's not truly an interesting description or an interesting way to convey certain information, if you find it important and vital to leave in, think about your reader and what interesting way can you implement that it's an apartment versus a Victorian style house. Think of other ways, maybe in other scenes, that you could kind of filter this description in a way that's interesting and entertaining for your reader. And so that's why I just ask that you be discriminate with your details and your word choices. So guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I sure do appreciate each and every one of you. I do hope that this helps and brings some sort of value to you and your writing journey. So that's all I've got. Stay tuned for another video in this series. Well, I will go a little more in depth and on word choice, and also provide another few examples for you and hopefully give you a better understanding of the importance of word choice. So thanks a lot for watching, and if you liked this content, please be sure to hit that like button to let me know. And it also helps the algorithm for YouTube, and it helps them suggest my videos to others just like you. And if you do like this sort of content and you want to know more or see more from me, then just hit that subscribe button. And if you want to know the next time that I upload, it is usually Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Time, but sometimes I do have a bonus video out. So if you want to keep track, just hit that notification bell wherever it may be. But it'll notify you guys. It'll let you know. All right. Thanks so much for watching. And until next time, bye. Happy writing.